And we were big too on almost like if you had a job like a teacher or something where you have to have continuing education. We were sort of really like that in our marriage. You know, the military was always offering marriage retreats where you go to some place out of town for the weekend. And it doesn't mean you're having problems or you need help. It's just, here's a check-in. Let's have a discussion again about, you know, one spouse comes home from work having a terrible day. They're real upset. They're at a low point. Recognize that that's not the time to now talk about your day and how the kids drove you nuts or something that broke or something. Like, read the room, know when to bring things up kind of thing. And it's just these tools that you have throughout the marriage.
I like how you said tools.
Yeah.
This is insulting to the human race. It's insulting.
What is?
Marriage retreats.
I loved them.
It's insulting. It's insulting.
All right. Go ahead. Go ahead. Shoot it down. Shoot down what
I
love.
Take all of the things that you would get out of a retreat, right? All of the positive things. And now tell me how you can't do those things tomorrow.
You can do them tomorrow.
That's why it's insulting. If those things are important and good and they teach a lesson, you don't need a marriage retreat to snap you out of things that weren't happening naturally. So if we went out for a dinner every Thursday and had a weekend getaway you can do that anytime. You don't have to have a retreat in order to do it.
But this is also things that they bring up for a discussion to think about. It's a reminder.
Yeah, these are all just triggers coming from outside of you when you have the ability to trigger yourself in all the same things. So you can go into the Google machine, right, and look up all the information that would be given to you by the yogi or whatever.
But when does the idea pop in your head? When you are elbow deep in life, work, stressors, going 100 miles an hour, and someone says, hey, by the way, here's this little opportunity for you guys to just sort of stop, touch base, come together again, and then continue. That's not a bad thing. Maybe it's not like I didn't have to have that, but it's helpful. Why not? Why wouldn't you? Like, oh, thanks for the little reminder. Yeah, let's touch base. You good? I'm good. We're good. Okay, love you. And then you go back to craziness.
All right, so me or everybody else? Which one do you want me to show you? Because I'm just going to change and make an analogy out of it.
You.
Me.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to say formulaic again, right? You decide what the things you need for the relationship early on, and you stick to the plan on we need to spend time together. We need to break away from normal life every once in a while. We need to do things just for us. We need to nurture the relationship. And once we know that, right, then we can just always do that and never,
what
give
if
into
somebody didn't know that until they saw the marriage retreat?
That's everybody else. So let's just say everybody else is going to go on a marriage retreat when there's a problem. Almost like you're not going to be introduced to healthy foods until there's some kind of like downside. You're like, I noticed that I'm not sleeping well and my health is fading and I've got, Dorito crumbs in my bed all the time. And you're like, epiphany. And then let's go solve this problem. You wait till a bad thing happens to come to the idea of something you should have known all along.
But I'm saying we would go on them not out of the idea that something bad happened. We went on it as just an appreciation to be like...
You are smart enough to do it without having to go to a marriage retreat. You can take all of the good components that it delivered and do that tomorrow because you're intelligent. Other people go on them when things are broken and they need to repair something. Yeah. So it's just, again, same thing. I'm going to change another. I'm going to throw another one out, Jack. So you buy a car and the tires wear out, right? Mm-hmm. Do they wear out on day one that you have the car or in 36,000 miles?
36,000 miles.
Okay.
Hopefully.
What happens when you're just driving around and you forgot that tires are going to need replaced in 36, because you stretch it out in a long period of time. What if you just get so focused on driving, you forget that tires are going to be replaced? Joe's going to buy the car, know that there's a replacement about 3 years from now, and put aside money and put it on my calendar to go get tires whether or not I need them when something happens, where it never went off of my radar. I never forgot that the tires weren't there, even if it took a really long time to do the realized thing. So in a relationship, you can forget that you're supposed to spend time with your husband because of life, right? And then one day you're going to have epiphany moment, whether or not it be, it was forced on you with a couple's retreat, or there's problems in the relationship. Cool, you can do that. But down here, you don't ever have to do that. You don't ever forget about it because it was packaged in the thing that you started, and it's been there all along.
So you're saying, okay, you buy tires.
Yes.
You already know after so many thousand miles, I'm going to need more.
Yes.
Let's go ahead and put that on the calendar now.
Yeah.
How is that any different than I'm in a relationship, I'm in a marriage, we know we're going to have issues, we know we're going to need to retouch, we're good, we've got some skills, but let's put on the calendar a marriage retreat that gives us the opportunity to reconnect and appreciate and all that.
Oh, that's why I said that's interesting that you said it as a tool, because in most cases, it's not a tool. Right?
Yeah. It's like a parachute.
It's a rediscovery of something that you already knew. And so that means that you knew something at one time, and over time you forgot about that thing. So are human beings capable of remembering things? Yes. Mm-hmm. And using actual tools so that you don't forget is part of the Formula Guys deal.
Yeah.
So after you go on that retreat and you're driving and say, that was really nice, our relationship's at a peak, right? What are we going to do? Are we going to forget that we should be doing stuff like this? Or are we going to change some lifestyle things so that a retreat is never necessary again?
Yeah.
Or let's put it on the calendar now. And so because this is what the relationship will do. It'll be high point after the retreat. Then the relationship will get strained, and then you'll see it's on the calendar and it'll come back up again. What if you don't let it get strained and you just go from this to this, and it was just an actual tool rather than something that was a life preserver that saved you? You don't have to be saved that way.
Yeah, I mean, to me, like, I see them as the marriage retreats almost like I view Valentine's Day. A lot of people are like, why do we have Valentine's Day? I don't need a day to remind me to love and be good to my spouse. Neither do we. But is it nice? It's nice. It's, oh, what a loving day where everybody's celebrating love, and maybe they're gift giving, or maybe they're just watching a movie together, maybe they're whatever. It's just a nice thing to be like, once again, I love you. It's just niceties. To me, the marriage retreats were that. It's, we already got this, we're good, but why would we not want to just take some time together? There's an opportunity.
Two separate things. Okay. So let's take the premarital counseling thing.
Okay.
And so you hey, we're going to get into life and we're going to forget all these things we agreed to. So I'm going to write them down, and in a year we're going to pull out this little notebook and we're going to read the things and be reminded about the things that we got involved in it. So that would be the utility of the thing that got you those words and those ideas, right? Versus a year from now, we really like to go and see an old man preacher. So we're going to go to the old man preacher and go through the litany of him saying the exact same thing that's on the piece of paper. So two things: the value of the reminder that you can get any day of the week that you choose, and then the thing that you like, that you're just going through the motions because you like the thing, you could get the utility without going and doing the thing. That would be the intelligence. You're going on the retreat because you enjoy the retreat. You just happen to get a reminder of something that you could have just written down, pulled out in front of the fireplace in your living room, and be reminded of all the things that person told you the last time you were there.
Yeah. But the retreat is a nice weekend away.
But they're separate. You can get a nice... Okay, so could you go to just a beach on Florida that is not a couple's retreat and experience all of the nice things that you got when you were on the retreat, and while you're there on the beach, little beachfront property, you take out the notes from the last one and go through the things that you liked from when you were at a retreat, and then you just made your own retreat, but you didn't need the retreat. You needed the information. It was nice to have when you're in a beautiful place where you can enjoy it with your spouse. It's all I'm pointing to, is you can get it differently. The retreat wasn't necessary. It's a nicety.
Yeah. And the way we use it, yes, 100%.
Okay.
And I agree with you that I think some people see a marriage retreat as sort of this life preserver. Things are bad, we better go find some skills to me is when it's like, oh.
But those are the same people that in 36,000 miles will be completely surprised that the tires they knew were 36,000 mile tires all of a sudden need to be replaced and jump in crisis, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm sitting back thinking, like, I'm changing tires even before I really should. And then we're going to experience different things. You're going to experience a day where you needed your car to run, and now a tire can't support your transport to where you were going. And my problem is I'm going to replace tires that I probably could have got a couple more miles out of, but then I don't have to ever wake up and the tire not doing what it's supposed to do. That's the experience. Do you want to wait till the relationship suffers to snap me to attention to go do it? Do you want to have high blood pressure and ill health before you snap to? Because the regular people are all running from things that they don't like, and they get tricked into good behaviors only long enough to go back into the bad cycle that is. That's regular people.
Yeah. I mean, I see it as almost like a maintenance item.
For sure.
If you're
100%.
taking care of a car or a computer or whatever, you have maintenance. Every so often, it is your thing to let's check in, let's check the backups, let's make sure everything's running good. We're still good. Great. To me, that's marriage retreats. That's date nights. That's
and whatever works,
things.
whatever tool that makes it work so that it doesn't get broken is a tool.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I feel like I got, not even just because the military offered that, but really you could get so much good advice before you're in that state. I had some family members that got divorced, and I remember talking to them one time, and I was like, I thought growing up, you guys were like the perfect couple. What happens? And we were told, don't ever stop dating, because you get kids in the picture, you get work in the picture, you get life in the picture. And if you don't keep the maintenance, one day that's all gone. The kids are grown. They're out of the house. You didn't maintain anything.
That's right.
You're done. You're two different people. And so that's when I'm like, well, that stuck with me, where I said, oh,
yeah, and you're accomplishing it in a very intelligent way by using a tool that is keeping your relationship shored up. You're not waiting for downside.